Day 73 in a year of living the Warrior's Way. Today I'm going to talk again about beliefs, because what you believe, you achieve. There's a Coach Kev saying for you. So I'm going to explain this, and then I'm going to explain why I have been trapped by limiting beliefs and how I am working hard to eliminate them. So the problem with limiting beliefs is we think, or I have thought, that they are protecting us. This is the survival brain. This is the deeply rooted thing that comes down, handed down through generations and generations. It's that survival brain. Stay alive, protect the body, protect at all costs. We don't want to encounter pain. We don't want to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Any of these crazy things that go on. Whereas the problem is that protective mechanism, that way of thinking, actually imprisons us. It stops us from doing things. It stops us from achieving things. It stops us, when I say us, me, I'm talking about, stops me from achieving things, stops me from doing things, stops me from experiencing life and having true happiness in the way that I should do. And this causes a very, very big problem for me. Now, getting rid of these beliefs and changing them, it can be relatively easy, but the problem is that the older you are, the more embedded they are. And the more embedded they are, like deep, deep roots of weeds, you can rip out a weed from a garden at the surface level, but the roots of that weed are still there, and that weed will keep growing back again and again and again. Sometimes it grows back stronger, so you've got to really get in and dig deep and find other ways of ripping and killing, ultimately killing that belief, that self-limiting belief. This is something that every single day I'm working on me. Every single day, and I've been talking about this now for 73 fucking days, about how I'm still working on me, and you're probably fucking bored shitless of hearing it. I'm bored shitless with fucking talking about it and trying to fix it. But that's because these beliefs, this bullshit is so deeply ingrained in my mind. And on some days, like yesterday, I was dealing with these beliefs with this Tony Robbins trainer that I had, and it brought up a whole fucking shitstorm of crap that went on. I ended up writing out, probably, I think it was close to 50 limiting beliefs, and I'm going to have to work on every single one of them. And as I was writing them, and as I'm walking today, and as I'm walking and I'm thinking and I'm doing stuff, I'm coming up with more and more and more of them, and I'm thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, my fucking life is fucked because of what I tell myself. But I can only fix and resolve and rip out one weed at a time. This is gonna take a long time. So the biggest ones are the ones that have to be taken out first. They have to be fucking annihilated, ripped out, torched, fucking every kind of shit thrown in to get rid of them. So the first thing to do is to rationalize it, write out the belief, say it, things like that. Then obviously turn it around, find the opposite of that particular thing. Find out why there are truths, and you need at least 3 to 4 different reasons as to why the opposite is actually true. And sometimes it takes a little bit of work, and as I said, there's various other questions that you have to ask yourself. What does it cost me? What will it cost me if I keep hold of this limiting belief? What would be possible for me if this limiting belief didn't even exist in my life? It didn't even exist in my brain. How would it free me? How would it change who I am fundamentally? Now, the only problem with that, as far as I can see it, is that sometimes those limiting beliefs, as painful as they are, and as upsetting as they are, and as traumatic as they are in terms of what they do to me, sometimes they allow me to maintain my victim story, to maintain the pity party that no one ever turns up to maintain the excuses and the lies that I just churn out and puke out of my mouth, you know. Well, it's I do this because of this, and because that happened to me, and because, you know, I haven't sorted it out, and it's not my fault, it's them, they said it. No, you didn't live in my shoes, you know, fuck off. It's just all bullshit. And then when I sit there and I stare at myself in the mirror and I realise that I am the problem and I am the solution, when I realise that I can't blame anyone else, that's a kick in the balls. Because nobody forces me to do anything. I choose to do things. Nobody forces me to say anything or to feel anything. No one can make me feel anything. My interpretation of something and the meaning I attach to it makes me feel something. So if someone comes up to me and says, Kev, you're a fucking fat cunt and you're full of shit and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, I can either attach a meaning to that and go, yeah, you're right, you wanker. Or I can say, well, okay, I might be overweight now, but I can lose it. I might be a lying piece of shit now, but I can be more truthful. I might be not your cup of tea, to use an English saying, but I'm happy with me. And I can choose, you know, am I going to let this person upset me, or am I just going to move on? Now, if it's just nobody, those sort of things can just go off my back. It doesn't really matter. If it's someone that's important to me, then it hurts more and it means more. But ultimately, I can't control anyone else. The only person I can control is me. The only thing I have dominion over is my thoughts, the meanings that I attach to things, which then create the feelings within me. Now, in theory, it's very easy. And in an awful lot of ways, I have excelled at this. But in reality, the guard slips. The bravado drops. The meanings I attach to things become more intense. And this happened to me yesterday. I attached too much meaning to something. I let wounds from my past infect my mind again. My judgment was clouded. I couldn't see a fucking thing. I couldn't see past my own glasses. And this created a big problem for me yesterday, because I had to deal with shit that I didn't want to deal with. Now, the shit wasn't there. The shit was all up here. It was between these ears and in my head. The stories I was running, the meanings I was running, the memories that I was attaching meanings to, the judgments that I was attaching meanings to, and ultimately it allowed me to fuck myself up yesterday. But today, the sun, where is the sun? Somewhere. Anyway, the sun is out. It's the blue sky. I'm out with the dog. Say hello, the dog. Hello. It's another day. After the darkness comes the light. You know, from the depths of deep sorrow and depression yesterday, I am more with it today. I'm back on track. I've shaken myself down. I've worked on myself. I've worked on my head, and I have a different perspective. And that sometimes is what it takes. Just one shit day, and then say no more victimhood, no more pity party. What do you think? Where are you in your life doing that still? Cheers.